Hey, welcome back. Special edition of Behind the Kitchen Doors, as we take you what's behind the bar as well and talk about the upcoming Whiskey Festival right here in Irvine with Chef Pascal and his friends. Welcome, Chef.
Yes, we usually talk about what's behind the kitchen door, but we don't drink that much behind the kitchen door.
Right.
But there's some special thing going on in Orange County with our friend Leslie Nguyen and
Leslie Nguyen. We got to get you to pronounce Vietnamese names correctly
I'm French.
here.
But you know, the French and Vietnamese go together.
Intertwined, yeah.
And so she's a master of a restaurateur.
She's an entrepreneur, too.
She never stops. Like she doesn't have enough to do with all these restaurants and special whiskey bar. And she did a festival, the Irvine Food Festival.
Yeah, we did the Taste of Irvine.
Taste of Irvine about 2 months ago.
And can I interrupt? I saw... She came on the show and she said, well, we're going to do this little Irvine food. I thought, okay, so it'll be a little thing in front of a restaurant, a couple of little booths, like you typically expect. It's like a full-blown production. There's tons of restaurants. There's a stage. There's everything else. I was like, whoa, how did you throw this together?
Well, she has a little help, too.
That's why we just...
we have a great team.
That's when you learned that nothing is little when it comes to Leslie. Nothing is a little thing.
And we didn't expect that suddenly there was going to be another festival coming up.
Back to back.
Back to back. A whiskey festival.
Oh, yeah.
So let's start by saying why whiskey in your life. Leslie Nguyen, that doesn't sound like a whiskey background or a whiskey girl. What made you open a whiskey bar and now a whiskey festival?
Why not?
Oh, okay. Why not?
I used to, you guys all know I'm sober now, but I used to drink bourbon. Bourbon was my drug of choice.
Right.
So,
and you talked
as an addict does.
You talked very openly the last time about how you no longer drink anything, which is even wilder while you're still in the bar business if you don't drink.
Right, but I'm still obsessed with it. So your obsession doesn't go away.
Actually, it's good for the bottom line. You're not drinking. Don't drink your stuff.
There's a whole lifestyle that goes behind whiskey. It's not just drinking whiskey, right? There's like the cigars and the style and the colors, and it's all.
And
I'm just obsessed.
It has to be kind of dark and smoky. And
I love that. It's so sexy to me.
Yeah, and people need to learn more about that because people just go say, "Give me the top shelf whiskey." No, just
there's a culture.
You should be able to give them a raw test. Oh, why don't you test this?
Try and explore and be adventurous with tasting all the different kinds because there's a whole world.
So even the great chef says his palate is infinite when it comes to food. We had somebody here talking about the subtleties of French cuisine and can you taste this and did you notice this? And I said it took me a while to get to the same place whiskey because whiskey for me was just a big, giant, mass-produced thing. And
there's a lot of that.
Still a lot of that. But it didn't have a lot of simplicity or subtlety to it or whatever.
Yeah, and it's from around the whole world. It's not just, it's just from Kentucky, and you're only drinking stuff from Kentucky. You're drinking stuff from Scotland, from Japan, from Ireland, like all over the world.
Right.
I was interested when Leslie was first talking about whiskey about how all these labels also have a story.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
And so
Like
she
what?
knew all these stories behind different, like some of them were distilleries that almost lost their distillery in a war and were able to keep uphold of that, and that's why certain parts of the label look the way they do, and they tell a family story behind all these brands too.
Well, I'm the only one who comes to this legitimately. I'm Irish through and through, and so I grew up. We drank whiskey, and but I never knew much about difference between Scotch whiskey, Irish whiskey, or American whiskey, which we'll call bourbon today here. And how it, like you said, how do you explain it to everybody, Leslie? You said it's sort of like wine and they have different varieties.
Well, it's like wine, right? Wine is whiskey, the category, right? And then you have different varietals.
Right.
And in wine, we have the Cabernets, Sauvignon Blanc, Chardonnay. In whiskey world, we have bourbons, ryes, Scotch, so
Irish
whiskeys, Canadian whiskey.
Right.
So those are just like varietals of whiskey. So yes, every bourbon is a whiskey, but not every whiskey is a bourbon.
Exactly, because bourbon generally has corn in place. Instead they add corn to it, which it makes it sweeter, like Jack Daniels and Jim Beam and all these things.
Is it like a little molasses into it?
Yeah, it's sort of kind of they add it to that mash that they make, that they ferment from. Yeah. Okay.
And then the aging. Yeah, wood.
That's where the magic happens.
Wood barrel aging.
That's where all the magic happens, because you get the color from the wood, because you get this barrel, and it's in what they call a rick house or a rack house. I like to call it rick house, and it's just literally a house full of barrels, and it's just barrels, and the smell of that wood is just the most amazing smell. And it's intoxicating.
Did you visit?
I did, yeah. I did the Bourbon Trail. I visited
I would love
Maker's
to go
Mark, Buffalo Trace, Jim Beam, Heaven Hill.
Whistle
I
Pig?
did a bunch.
You guys did Whistle
We
Pig?
did Whistle Pig, but the only thing about Whistle Pig, it's in Vermont. We stayed on the farm, but they didn't have rick houses there, so they're doing their bottling somewhere else. I believe.
Did you get dizzy when you visited those places? Kind of happy
because of the smell.
I get a different kind of dizzy. It's very intoxicating. It's because you're breathing history. You're breathing this time, right? Because these barrels have lived there for years.
10,
Some
15,
of them,
20 years.
Right.
Yeah.
And they rotate them in this rick house throughout the seasons of the year, right? So the heat and the cold make the wood expand and contract, and that's how the color comes from all these whiskeys. So the amber color, how rich and deep it is like how long it's been and how much the wood is contracting, right? And then the finish is they add different staves, French oak, or all different woods, and then you can literally make the whiskey taste different just by aging it in this last years with like a piece of wood.
So is that like wine? These are barrel whiskey.
Yeah.
But do they do also whiskey in stainless steel?
Not usually, I don't think.
No.
Because it has to pick up the color and the flavor
Right.
from the wood.
Okay.
They usually
In
use
the
them in
wood.
wine barrels, wine barrels, or brandy.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
I've never heard of stainless. I think the stainless steel would not give it its character and flavor.
No, I understand.
Yeah.
I'm looking up whiskey
I'm
here.
not
It says uncharred
I'm
white
a whiskey
oak cask.
drinker, but I'm not a...
Yeah,
Right.
when it's distilled from like the mash, they put it through the copper distill,
Yeah.
and that touches
That's
it. But
when it smells really good, when they distill it.
yeah, so it's called White Dog. So right before it goes into, they had us rub it in our hands and like smell it, and it's like very corn syrupy, but like alcohol, like smelling, and it's like it's pure alcohol.
Wow.
Basically, so if you drink it, you're gonna just get wasted, and it's not good.
Just by smelling it.
It does not taste good. There's somebody that did bottle. It's called White Dog, and it's just like
That will not be at the park in
White
Irvine
Lightning.
next
No.
week.
No.
It's like Everclear.
No, not even under the table.
No.
White lightning. So here, for Shuffle Preachers, if you look up in Wikipedia here, and I knew this growing up as a kid, whiskey comes from the Anglo. How do you say the Anglicization? Turning it into English.
Okay.
Of the original Irish Gaelic, which means water.
Yes.
And so it meant water of life. Whiskey is a corruption of uskabita or something. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, but it's the water of life, just as your friend made an aqua vita.
Well, in France, we call it eau de vie. So
Yeah,
water
or eau de
of
vie,
life. Yeah.
or in Scandinavian countries, it's aqua vita.
Yeah.
It's a water of, so it was, it's kind of the water of life or the breath of life.
It is, and you know what? Whiskey, just like bagels and pizza, the better the water, the better your product's going to be.
Right. There you go. All right, so you fell into whiskey, and you created this place called Bosscat, because you're the boss cat. And it's a very hip, very popular upscale place
Thank
there
you.
off of Main Street in Irvine.
Bon Carmen.
How many,
Carmen.
Yeah.
how many selection of whiskey you have on your bar?
So when we first started, we had like 400, and then
you first.
and then the bartenders were like, "We can't do this for inventory anymore," so we scaled it down to 300, and then, now we've scaled it to probably 250.
Yeah.
So we've taken
That's
down
plenty.
the the ones that weren't selling, or I have very obscured ones, like ones from Australia or like ones from, random bottles. So we got rid of all the randoms, and now we just keep stock of like the what's
And
sells.
is bourbon, American whiskey, still the most popular, or are people trying Irish whiskey, Scottish whiskey, Canadian whiskey, or even Japanese whiskey, which is huge these days?
Yeah,
huge.
Japanese is very popular. Yes, bourbon is number one, but I think everyone wants to explore other places, so they're all. It's like food. Everyone has a different palate and different tastes and what they like, right? Some people like American food, some people like French food, some people like Asian food. So it's kind of the same with whiskey.
So let now you talk about that. Let's bring whiskey next to the food.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you do food on whiskey pairing?
We do. Yeah, we actually do a Whiskey Wednesday dinner, and we have one coming up on the 29th.
The 29th.
The 29th.
It's another Wednesday, so it's 2 Wednesdays after our event.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
So
what do you
we-
see when you go there?
So Whiskey Wednesday dinner, and we do it bi-monthly, and it's a pairing. This one's with Jack Daniels. Each dinner is with a certain brand, and then we do a tasting with all their expressions, or their top 5 expressions. It's like having a flight. We'll have like a flight table, a flight at your table, and you get to taste all the expressions.
Jen
and then we
needs
do
some whiskey here. She needs my great grandmother used to say when she was alive, or my grandmother would say, both of them. I'd say, "Are you drinking again?" No, it's just a wee bit for me cough.
It's the change of the seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we do like a 5-course meal with it, and they pair each expression with each course.
So who decides the pairing? The bartender or the chef?
They work
interesting.
together.
Okay.
Yeah, they work together on
Very
creating that experience.
And what kind of
but
food
this-
would you expect pairs with whiskey?
Oh, there's so much. There's,
Is it meat?
Meats,
Yeah.
a lot of meats.
beef, chicken, pork, duck.
Yeah.
There's so many food. A lot of good, hearty, rich food. I think
about,
pairs well. I wouldn't do like a white fish
No.
or anything like that.
Well, how about
No, because-
oysters?
But-
Oysters I've seen paired with oysters a lot.
Yeah.
But Bosscat's Whiskey Wednesday events turn it up.
Okay.
It gets turned up. There is games, there are giveaways. It
Yeah.
is a all interactive situation. By the end of the night, everybody knows everyone, and they're all hugging each other, and they've all made fast friends.
Like an Irish pub.
Yeah, exactly. And then the ambassadors come out. They tell the story of about the distillery. This one falls on close to Halloween, so we're doing a Halloween kind of theme.
Nightmare
Halloween.
Before
What did I
Christmas
say?
inspired.
Yeah, so the restaurant is decked out. It looks like Nightmare Before Christmas in there, and
So you're going
all
to
the
have
food
some,
will be
some
themed.
boo cocktail.
Yeah. We have custom engraved ice.
Yeah.
That
What?
has
What custom engraved? You can't just
Yeah.
have a cube of ice in your
No,
whiskey here?
so Ice Bulb,
There's some
Mark from
water.
Ice Bulb, he does the cube whiskey ice, and then he engraves it.
That's okay.
You want some more water?
Hand her right behind you, Chef, is water on the table.
I
there.
got it.
Or right underneath you is some water there.
Here.
We don't want to keep her covered. Right underneath Leslie is water, too. There's a whole bottles of water underneath the table.
Oh, right here.
There you go. Lots of water.
Perfect.
We don't want to have this spoiled by your coughing girl the whole
Where's
time.
your whiskey?
I need that. I
Yeah.
need Grandpa's cough medicine. Come on.
Now, how about you, Jen? Wales. Are you Welsh? Does the Wales come from Welsh?
I am not.
You got red hair.
I do. I'm my husband's side Scottish. My side is Irish, Polish, big Polish on my
Okay.
side. But Wales, like the country, no H, as we say,
Right.
is obviously my husband's family name. So not from Wales specifically.
I am actually Irish and Polish, which I always thought was a strange combination. And my wife is Irish and Polish. So you're the third person now, the only third
Lots of
person. I've ever met.
skis.
Yeah.
There's a lot of skis on my side,
Yeah.
my mom's side. But actually, when we visited Scotland a couple years ago, we all went to Scotland. It was like my husband's aunt's dream, 80th birthday dream, to get the whole family together. We stayed in a castle. There was lots of whiskey visiting, some whiskey,
Yeah.
like Lagavulin
That's
and things
cool.
like that. we were maybe 25 minutes from the Wales border, and we just wanted to divert over to be like, we did it. The whales are in Wales. But where we went, wasn't that exciting. It was really just like a patch of grass. It wasn't anything
and
too
every
cool.
name in Wales has 400 letters to it.
It was so beautiful, though. I mean, there's no place like Scotland. I said it was the land of the fairies.
It is, yeah.
Fairies and trolls.
Did you try Lagavulin, which is my all-time favorite? Really super smoky.
We stopped in there. We were actually, it's right by the ferry crossing, and we were headed to Tobermory on the Isle of Mull. And our car ferry was leaving, and there wasn't enough time for a real distillery experience.
So did you go to the Isle of Skye, which supposedly gets inundated by seawater while it's kind of salty, the soil?
I wish we had more time. We did the Isle of Mull and then had to head back for the 80th birthday, celebrations.
Right.
But it was just such a lovely place, and so much whiskey in that area as well. It was really cool.
Well, because
to see.
like wine in France, it was bred into our culture. I mean, where I grew up, everything was whiskey oriented, and everybody knew about whiskey, and we were familiar with, and everybody drank it. Not in the Vietnamese culture, the French culture necessarily here, but.
So let's come back to Irvine.
Okay.
So you're going this festival, it's not just whiskey. It's going to have a lot of food as well there.
Oh, yeah.
And you have a lot of chefs and restaurants going to participate. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah.
I'm really impressed with our restaurant lineup. A lot of friends have come out from the woodworks. They're all going to show up in fantastic ways. We obviously have Bosscat Kitchen and 10 Sushi and Cocktail Bar.
Because this is literally in front. It's that courtyard around all the office towers.
Yes,
right?
they call it the park.
Okay.
The park at Lakeshore.
Right.
For anybody that remembers Lakeshore Towers, it is not Lakeshore Towers, but it's the park at Lakeshore, right at the Lifetime Fitness El Fornillo, who also will be presenting and sampling at the event. Right. They do an amazing setup of their pastas. It's like, just go for that. It is worth every penny.
Go to the whiskey festival to taste Italian pastas. Right?
Well, they told me they're doing rigatoni alla vodka. It's a special. They're doing a pasta with this pesto. They do a fazooli with a arrabbiata, spicy tomato sauce, and it's just so filling and nice when you're like sampling. It's a really good compliment, and we're excited to have them, especially since they're right there too. So What a great way to be a part of the event when it's right outside your door. And it's been nice for Bosscat Kitchen to come in only a few short years ago and activate this space that otherwise wasn't being activated in this way. So like I was saying, Bosscat Kitchen, 10 Sushi Cocktail, Miss Minnie Donuts, of course, Leslie's other entrepreneurial baby.
I infuse them with whiskey.
Dude, no, you don't.
Yes.
You put whiskey into donuts?
Yeah, so I get a little pipette, and I put whiskey in them, and then I stick them in a donut. And there's two ways to eat them. You can either squeeze it and then eat them, or you squeeze and eat at the same time and pull out the pipette.
Do you have to be 21 to eat your donut?
Yes.
Those donuts. And to go to this event. Yeah. It is 21 and over.
Talk about your 10 Sushi, too, because that's right next door. That's your restaurant as well. And I was there where UCI is Applied Innovation. There was a big conference here. They all said, where do we go afterwards? They all said, we want to go to 10. And we went there, and they all ordered, these are a bunch of guys and scientists, what did they order but Japanese whiskey?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, there's a big market for that over at 10, and they're always a great compliment with, like, Taste of Irvine. They did Wagyu hare hand rolls. Yes. This event we're going to be doing with 10 the crispy tuna hand rolls. So that should be a fun little addition. I was really impressed. I know we have Driftwood in the deck out of Laguna. Super excited to have them on board. They're doing a double R ranch prime rib cone with a red chimichurri sauce, sweet mashed potatoes, horseradish lebne with crispy red onion. Wow. So that type, you were asking what food goes well with whiskey, right there. The prime rib cone.
A lot of flavors.
The prime rib cone. Some of our restaurant partners are doing some dessert-based things like Terrace by Mix. They're doing a sticky toffee pudding. They're doing, originally it was a whiskey creme and glace, but he's now doing a Kokori whiskey ice cream.
Whiskey and what ice cream?
A Kokori whiskey ice cream, as he calls it. So it's going to go with the sticky toffee pudding. So that will be a nice, like, sweet addition. We have a coffee sponsor, Malfi Coffee, that does some really incredible coffees. They're doing a bourbon caramel latte, and we're working to see if we can pair with like a Basil Hayden to kind of like put some.
Can we spike it?
A spin.
Yeah.
That's what we're. That's
Basil
what we're.
Hayden is a bourbon, big bourbon. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're looking at
You would love that,
spiking
Chef.
some stuff.
Yeah.
So they'll actually have 3 different lattes. A pumpkin spice latte, perfect for this perfect fall night. I mean, that's one of the things. We're going to have the whole park lit, string lights, no real easy ups to obstruct. We really want to kind of embrace that like sweater weather that happens, that early sunset, light the space in a beautiful way. We do. We have live music. We have a band.
No, we have a
JT's
DJ.
DJ.
Yeah.
Last time we
He's
had a
going to
band.
play some whiskey vibes.
Whiskey
Whiskey
vibes.
vibes, whatever those are. Are there whiskey songs? I don't even know.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Come on.
Yeah, there's a
There's a lot
lot.
of country songs
Oh,
talk about
yeah.
whiskey.
There's a lot of
I only know
very popular
Whiskey in the
ones.
Jar was a famous Irish song.
I'll play you a bunch.
All right.
Bring your red cup.
We were also really excited to have an edition of Haven Gastropub, which is obviously such an Orange County staple, such a name.
That's where in
It's
Orange.
one of your
in
neighbor
Orange,
in
yeah.
Orange, yeah.
Yeah.
Neighbor in Orange. They're going to do a chicken liver toast with a touch of whiskey mousse.
Ooh.
So things that kind of embrace the fall season. There's a number of other restaurant partners. We have Farmhouse.
Yeah, Rich will be
Oh,
there.
Rich will
really
be there.
wonderful.
Yeah, we're excited. So yeah, we're loving the food component, because there was a couple of people we were working with on a partnership level that were going, well, I'll help you promote, but I don't really drink whiskey, so I don't need to come. And I'm like, well, we also have
Come
all
for the
this.
food and then
Yeah,
boom.
they didn't know that their food was
Yeah.
also going to be there. I'm like,
Yeah.
we're not going to serve whiskey without food. Come on.
And I
Well-
think that's the key difference, because I assumed this was just like a wine tasting. It was maybe a little few cheese and crackers or something, but mostly it was about the alcohol. This is much more than that.
That's what
So-
That's what I was trying to have it be when we were planning it several months ago. I said, no, we'll just do some whiskey vendors on the lawn, and before 1 hour with JT and
It's a
Leslie,
whole
Leslie and her business
gastronomic
partner.
experience, you know. It's
Yeah.
very helpful.
Yeah.
We-
Yeah.
One thing, she doesn't do anything small. So when we
No,
were talking
I
about
get
it,
that.
within after
I
one
don't know
meeting,
her very well, but I get that already. Go look at the restaurant. So, fantastic restaurants, but I'm assuming there's also some fantastic whiskey there, too. Give us some of that.
Oh, yeah. So we're going to have my favorite. Sazerac will be there. E.H. Taylor, Weller, Castle and Key, Angel's Envy, Bullet, my first love.
These are all bourbons, right?
Oh, yeah. Basil Hayden, Glen Roddick, and Jack Daniels, Blade and Bow. I think McAllen was also going to be there.
Okay. Now we're getting a little
really?
Scottish
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, there's gonna be a good mixture of everything. Yeah.
And is it by sheer accident? Is it just the little fairies got together and made it all happen? So you're doing this right before the Newport Beach Film Festival,
Yes.
which is going to premiere. What's it called? I was trying to look at off the thing. I'll look at it in a second here.
I
They're
will
doing-
come up for air,
There's
the Wednesday after.
They're doing on
There's
the
an
Irish
Irish movie
about whiskey.
Jen is a boss, so she owns Wales Communication. She does PR, marketing for a ton of restaurants in Orange County. You guys probably know a lot of people in common. Chef Pascal.
But the event world, there's nothing like it. I said to, it's a lot to get into. We've been trying this venture for years. We have been talking about doing events together for years, but I know that like once you're in it, it's sleepless nights.
Yeah.
It's so much communication. You're going at full speed, and I just like Leslie, don't do anything halfway. And so, but I do believe like when you're in that moment and the event's playing out and you are the reason for these 600-700 people having this experience, it's like the most perfect symphony, right? And you play it in that way and it sounds that way, and I will like not sleep until I know that every instrument is tuned.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like,
and you have a perfect location.
yeah, what a
Parking-
beautiful spot.
Parking is easy.
Yeah.
You can come in and out. It's really, and it's outdoor. It's fantastic.
yeah, it's
huh?
beautiful.
Well, I want to plug. I told Greg at the film festival.
Oh,
I'd
yeah.
plug the Irish Spotlight Night, which is on Saturday after your event, which would be Sunday the 19th. They're
Sunday, Irish,
showing
yeah.
a film called A Sip of Irish, and it's a documentary, a fun, humorous look at Irish whiskey with Jameson Blender and actors like Sam Neill and Russell Crowe in the film.
So people need to sip whiskey before.
Sip it, try it, and then learn about it.
Well, and the most
Exactly.
interesting thing is when we were planning this whiskey festival, and then 2 weeks later we have the Whiskey Wednesday seated
Event,
5-course
right.
dinner, which is about just under 50 tickets. It's pretty exclusive. It's 48 tickets, and we close off the restaurant. That is all we sell. So you kind of have to be involved in that. And I was coining it like, there's just so many ways to whiskey this fall. There's so many ways to whiskey
I like
this
that.
fall. And now you're coming up with this
Another one.
whiskey
A sip of
movie.
whiskey.
It is, October is whiskey month.
So
you
next,
know?
this is next Wednesday. The 15th is your event. Start there. Start the party. Go to the film.
A couple days later, recuperate.
Yes.
Go to the
And then go on Sunday.
Sunday to the film festival and see the documentary, A Sip of Irish, and then next week, cap it off with a private party at Bosscat Whiskey Wednesday.
Yeah.
There you go.
Is a perfect way to do it.
Sounds
So many
good.
ways to whiskey. That's
There's
our motto.
so many ways to whiskey this fall. Just look at bosscatkitchen.com. We'll lead you in the right direction.
How do they find tickets? How do they get you? How do they sign up for this event?
So our Instagram handle is at OC Whiskey with the EY.
Yes.
WHISKEY.
Because there's the way the
festival.
Scottish spell it, which is SKY, or there's the correct way to spell it, which is the way they do in America and Ireland, which is an EY.
EY, OC Whiskey Festival. And information's there, the link in bio. We sell tickets through Eventbrite. And I do want to say I have coined this festival as low cost, high proof. Because we got
She's got all. She is in PR.
She is,
Oh my
yes.
goodness.
we got a message today from somebody through Eventbrite, and they said, for the $70, is that unlimited whiskey and unlimited food?
Sure.
And I was like, yes.
Wow.
And so it's 70 GA. Search around. There may be some $10 off codes throughout
General
the internet.
admission. Is that what GA means?
General
OC
admission.
Foodies, I think.
Is there a private VIP?
There's a
entrance there?
VIP entrance. You get an hour earlier, a great gift bag with some money to Bosscat or 10 or other Daily Dose stuff.
Maybe some tickets
Maybe
to the
some
film.
tickets to the film
Film.
festival. But even VIP at 95, it's hard to go out these days and have a real cool experience like this and be involved with so much in one space at one time.
I agree.
And it's low cost, high proof.
And the other thing is, I hear Chef Pascal might make an appearance there.
Yeah, I think so. I will call from one table to another.
Capture some interviews, some little savors of the moment here.
Yeah.
That's it. We got to put the ticket price up. You say he's
We
going to
did.
be there?
We
No.
just it's going up now. Well, thank you for coming
Thank you for
up
the
here.
invite.
Thank you for coming to talk about it. You had me at the word whiskey, and I'm never going to forget there's many ways to whiskey this month here
There's
in Orange
so
County.
many ways to whiskey.
All right, and if they want to learn more about the restaurant, Bosscat is what?
BossCatKitchen.com. And there is a flyer, a pop-up on the website that will lead you to tickets to either the Whiskey Festival or the Whiskey Wednesday event, the Nightmare Before Christmas inspired event, or just any information. Yeah, there's a lot of info, and eventually we'll even build the breadth of whiskey knowledge through BossCatKitchen.com.
The breath of life, as they say. That's what whiskey stands for, the breath of life. Thanks for sharing that breath with us
can't
today
wait.
here. All right, thanks so
Thank
much.
you.
And thank you
Thank you,
for
Chef.
bringing all these spectacular events to Orange County. This never happened like that before.
No.
Stay tuned for the next
I know,
one.
something tells me there's some stuff coming in 2020.
I'm going to make her do a brunch event where we've
right.
been working
Yeah.
on a brunch event for years.
We're going to
Yes,
spoil it with the fact that it is going to be a lot earlier time and a lot sweeter stuff.
I want a
with
French
our
whiskey
brunch.
event because they
And
do
on
make
a
whiskey in France. I want a
Oh, yeah.
French whiskey
Yeah.
event.
In Brittany, in Normandy, they have their own
There you go.
like
Maybe we should have your
artisanal
coffee out for the brunch event.
There you
too.
go.
Sure.
We're going to bring
He
it
has a
all
coffee.
together somehow.
I know.
All right, we are family.
We are Orange
Well,
County.
what a great event. Look forward to it. Next Wednesday, the 15th, right in front of Bosscat Restaurant over there on Irvine. Lots of restaurants, lots of whiskey. Kickoff to a big month-long celebration in many ways that ends with a Whiskey Wednesday.
And Paul
back up
and
there.
I will be there. We may even do some interviews.
I think we're going to do some. We're going to pick up some, only if we get to taste a little bit.
Okay. All right.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Here we go. One more trip behind the kitchen doors. We stopped at the bar along the way. We're going to learn more each and every week right here in Orange County's only community radio station, OC Talk Radio, streaming live from our studios here at the University of California, Irvine's Field Applied Innovation Center.